So we have been here for almost a year, since last year, October. Well, things have been good in the sense that when we arrived, we so-called experienced the first snowstorm, which is supposedly to be one of the worst ones in Vancouver. Um, we get to know some other Asian friends. Some are from Singapore, some are from Korea, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and well, I mean, I guess having some of these friends does help us to integrate better because of preference in terms of food, in terms of the culture. So I must say that we are also quite in for culture shock when it comes to the cost of living and the way the food prices are is really quite a lot as compared to back in Singapore, right? We tend to compare, although we are told not to compare. But over here, everything that you see is not what you pay, but rather you have to add additional tax, which can come up to like 12%. Um, and then on top of that, you have to pay for another 10, 12, or even 15, 20% of tips. Sorry. So, a $10 or $20 meal can end up to be about 30 over dollars. So, yeah, that was something that we have to get accustomed to. And then, of course, when it comes to housing, I guess the timing also play a part. We come at a time where the prices of houses were quite high. If you are looking for something like a two-bedroom, it can cost easily close to $1 million, right? Especially in terms of location, depends on which location you're looking at. But so far, we have been staying at the Tri-City, which is the Port Moody, Port Coquitlam area. And of course, we realized that it's very convenient, but then the houses are, you know, very expensive. In fact, it's quite unaffordable if, let's say, you do not have a, some sort of savings with you. So we are still considering. Currently, we just rent because, yeah, we just want to see, how things go. Yeah. So yeah, so for the housing, the food, definitely way more expensive than Singapore. But of course, when it comes to car, right? We got ourselves a second-hand 11-year-old car, Mitsubishi, which cost us something like 10 over thousand, or rather around 10,000, which is quite cheap, right, as compared to Singapore. So we are glad that we managed to get a car like that. And because it's an SUV, so we can actually, put a lot of things inside. And of course, people joining us. Right now, we are staying in a basement of the house. So every month you'll have to pay around 1,800 to 2,000, depending on how many people, right? So as compared to, we have also looked at the possibility of staying in a condo, but for the condo, in fact, the price is much higher, and in fact, the place is also smaller, but then the cost-wise is around 2,500 maybe even 3,000. So again, depending on the location. Uh, yeah, so the rental market has been ridiculously hot. We were looking for a place for our son, just one private room, and we are looking at something like about $900 to 1,000, depending on how comfortable the place is, and also once again the location. If you look at say something like a private apartment to yourself, just one bedroom, it can cost you something like 1,700, 1,800, or even 2,000, depending on, once again, the location. You know, for our son, we wanted it to be near the school, which is somewhere around the Burnaby area. So that area is considered very hot. In fact, when we saw the ad, it's really no surprise that it can get snapped out within what, just 1 2 days. Yeah, so it's really very tough. It took us something like 8 days just to find the place that we want. And we are talking about, yeah, it's not cheap. I mean, we are talking about somewhere around 900, right? The landlord's market in this case, right? So it's really for them to even pick and choose some of the tenant that they want, right? So we can have a lot of people viewing, and they will choose which one they think will make a good tenant. Yeah, so this is a reality of the rental market here in Vancouver.